It's the battle for the Paul Bunyan Trophy, Saturday night primetime on NBC. Michigan State. After that brawl last year in the tunnel, baby, this is one that we've been waiting for all year long. Where are you watching this rivalry game, the state championship of Michigan, as Jim Harbaugh coined a few years back? Are you watching from your couch? Give me a C in the comments. A friend's house, type F. You're watching at a bar or outside, maybe in a party, you could type B for that one, a social event. Or if you are heading, I guess, east of Ann Arbor, a little bit north, to Spartan Stadium, type S in the comments. And the Michigan Football Report is presented by Manscaped. Huge day for us here at the show and for Manscaped because the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra just launched, and I got my hands on one of the first in the business. We'll tell you about that a little bit later in the show. Let's talk about uniforms. This is not official yet, so if we're wrong, whatever. But hearing word in the streets is that Michigan plans to wear the blue pants combos. Hearing also that they're wearing more of the maize accents, like the maize gloves and socks and sleeves and all that stuff. But I haven't confirmed that totally yet, but I'm like 99% sure they will be in the white road jerseys, of course, to contrast Michigan State's all black helmets, jerseys, pants, with the blue pants for this Michigan football team coming up on Saturday. So that is the uniforms. I want to tell you guys this. If you are heading to the game, what should you be wearing you should be wearing maize, because blue just doesn't stand out, especially under the lights. I went to the Notre Dame game a few weeks ago against Ohio State. That Irish green just stood out like crazy. You're kind of really drowning out some of the red for Ohio State. Blue is going to get drowned out by Michigan State green, etc. So wear maize if you're going. It might be a little chilly Saturday night, 45 degrees. Go to Meijer or one at Walmart. Get yourself a damn Michigan maize hoodie. Don't be the idiot showing up wearing, just some random thing. Take over Spartan Stadium. Wear maize on Saturday night. So let's take another step into this game. It is Michigan State, the battle for the Paul Bunyan Trophy. So what I want you guys to do, because Michigan State fans, they finally found me. They are in our comments. Type in go green, go white, Harbaugh sucks, yada, yada. So comment Paul as a Michigan football fan if you want to win this trophy, the Paul Bunyan Trophy. Go down in the comments and give me a Paul. It's the 8th game for this Michigan football team. Number 2 in the country. 7-0 record, bringing the number 10 scoring offense in all of college football and the historically number one scoring defense in all of college football, giving up 6.7 points per game. Other side of things, Michigan State's lost 4 straight games. They're 0-3 in the Big Ten. They're bringing a brutal offense, 106 in the country, scoring, and then a mediocre, right in the middle, number 59 defense in the country. 7:30 on NBC. Michigan's favored by 24 points, the second highest line in the history of this program, of this rivalry game in particular. I'm talking about offense for Michigan State, right? They made a quarterback change last week. This team, through 6 games, 15 touchdowns, 13 turnovers, all right? 8 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions, and then they also have 6 fumbles. So 6 fumbles to 6 rushing touchdowns. In their 4 games against Power 5 teams, the last 4 all losses, only converting on 32% of their third downs. Some of the numbers are really inflated with those first 2 wins they had against Central Michigan, etc. And quarterback change, Katin Houser got his first start against Rutgers. Off to a great start, right? They entered the 4th quarter up 24-6. It's a new era in East Lansing. But then they gave up 21 straight points to lose to Rutgers to fall to 0-3 at the Big Ten. We're going to take a deeper look at Michigan State, but I do want to remind you as a Michigan football fan, this could be the first time you're finding this show. You're a little bit more attention on the program now. It's rivalry week, championship week, state championship. So if you've yet to do so, or if it's your first time, hit that subscribe button. It's free. If you don't like what you see today, tomorrow, anytime, you can always hit that unsubscribe button later. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Help us grow. Get more studio time in the newly remodeled Chat Sports Studio 2 in Dallas, Texas. Katin Houser, 18 of 29 last week, but only 133 yards, right? J.J. McCarthy throws for 240. He only needs 16 passes. This guy needs 30 passes to hit 130. So not nearly as effective as J.J., although Houser did not have any interceptions against Rutgers, despite the fact that the Michigan State team gave up an 18-point fourth quarter lead. Folks, this Michigan State team, their offense, it stinks. They lost their head coach 2-3 weeks into the season, and I'm not sure if it would have been really good outside of that. You could say that Kenneth Grant is going to make more money for Mel Tucker, or would have had Tucker not, been jerking it with Brenda Tracy on the phone. For coming to Michigan State for one season in 2021, got Mel a $95 million contract, then he will, Grant, will in the NFL his entire career, maybe 10 times as much as he will. That really changed the trajectory for that one season for Michigan State, but they have fallen back to the mean of what they have been as a program since Mark D'Antonio left the program after 2019, but really they had fallen off those last 2 or 3 years regardless, with probably the greatest coach in Michigan State history, at least in modern era, last 40, 45 years. And that includes Nick Saban, who was coached there from 1995 through 99. Going deeper here on Katin Houser, second year of the program. Got a few snaps last year, redshirted, was a top 250 recruit in the 2022 class. It's a second-year redshirt. Out of the state of California, was committed to Boise State for a while, then flipped and is a commitment to Michigan State. He's clearly the quarterback of the future, right? He's the top quarterback commit they've had in like a 4 or 5 year stretch. So if he doesn't, just run and hide after losing to Michigan on Saturday, he could be the guy who potentially turns this program around. Guys, I've got some breaking news. Breaking news here on the program. Gentlemen, it's an urgent message for you, and that is that Manscaped has launched the new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. First day on the market, and I have got one of the first ones in my hand. Today's show is brought to you by Manscaped, the brand that took your balls to space is now launching them into the Ultrasphere. Introducing the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, featuring a new cutting-edge design and next-generation dual skin-safe blade heads for different shaves. It's pretty much a spaceship taking your boys downstairs to the next level. I'm lucky enough to have one of the first new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultras, and I can say it is a game changer. That would be an understatement to call a game changer. Look, if you're getting in the bedroom with a lady, I'm looking around the office here. I got Sam over here. This thing's vibrating in my hand. Come in handy in the bedroom, guys. I got Tex. I got Chipper sitting in the show today. Guys, let me just give you a little hint, okay? I haven't seen the ladies flocking all over you yet, but when you have it happen, if she goes downtown and it's just a hairy mess, that might be the only time you're getting a shot. Or she might get a headache all of a sudden. Just so you know, use Manscaped. Trim up. Some of you might just trim it to be one length or just get rid of it all. Might make for a better experience. That is Manscaped. Go get 20% off and free shipping your order. Get yourself the new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Manscaped's up there with Apple as like the best packaging in the game. It's almost like a Christmas Day when you open up a new Manscaped product. They've been launching products lately faster than Elon Musk has. So go to manscaped.com, use promo code GOBLUE, no spaces, promo code GOBLUE, 20% off and free shipping. Don't be a sloppy mess down there. Get going with Manscaped, the new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Taking a look at the Michigan offense versus the Michigan State Spartans defense, which used to be one of the most respected defenses in all of college football. And they're not that bad right now, but take a look at the stats here. Michigan has only played their first team offense one game this entire year. That was in the fourth quarter against Rutgers. So J.J. McCarthy's had one series in the fourth quarter. So had they been in closer games, they would certainly have better stats on the season. This team is not turning the ball over. They're up there in the top 5 in the country in least amount of turnovers. Not least amount of turnovers, least amount of penalties as a entire unit. The passing game has put up more yards than the running game so far. But again, J.J. McCarthy, Blake Corum has not really played in the fourth quarter at all this year. So Michigan will turn it on when they're playing maybe Michigan State, Purdue, Penn State, Maryland, Ohio State. Look, we saw what they did in the second half last year to Penn State and to Michigan State. I think, although Michigan State's defense is not as bad as I initially thought, just based on the scores of the games, they've actually got some pretty good players. They've made some good plays. This Michigan offense should probably have no trouble scoring at least 21 points in the first half, get a nice sizable lead, and then we'll just see what kind of mood Jim Harbaugh is in before, just decide what the final score will be in this one, but I don't expect it to be too close of a game. How about the Michigan D? Michigan's got some of the best D out there. I'm going to tell you what. That Michigan D, Manscaped, they're scaping. They got the best D in all of college football, really making fans pleasured all season long. Number 2 total defense in college football, behind Penn State, who's playing at Ohio State, big noon on Saturday. Number 2 passing defense in the country. Number 10 rushing defense in the country. Number 1 scoring defense in the country by a decent margin. And right now they're up there historically as the best scoring defense in the last 40 years of college football. Also 12 turnovers on the year. Number 20 in the country at forcing turnovers. You saw that Michigan State stats, though. You saw how bad, when you get a chance, Jack, I'm going to look at those Michigan State offensive stats one more time, because this Michigan State offense is terrible. It is terrible. I think it's that Stephen A. Smith line. Terrible. Number 95 in the country. Okay. Number 70 passing. Number 109 rushing. This offense stinks. They can't move the ball at all rushing. The Michigan defense is going to tee off on them. They can't score worth shit. Number 106 in the country, scoring 22 points a game. 15 turnovers, as I said earlier in the show. These games, these stats are even inflated by the fact they played Central Michigan and Richmond their first two games. Got absolutely blown out by Washington at home, 41-7, which was like 38 to nothing, I think, at halftime. Lost to Maryland, lost to Iowa, and then lost to Rutgers in a game they were up 24-6 starting the fourth quarter. I think Michigan's going to have no problem moving the ball against this team, scoring, stopping them from scoring. But let me know what you guys think, over or under. All I need is one of those words for you down in the comments. Let your voice be heard. Will Michigan score 40 points, over or under? If you're just going to say, will they score 40 exactly, just say over. We'll understand what you mean with that one. So let me know down in the comments. It is time for Yoder's top 5 Michigan State moments, at least of my conscious lifetime. We'll just kind of say like the mid-90s till now. Let you guys know my 5 moments. Number 1, it can't be anything different for anybody, I don't think, if you've been watching Michigan football for more than 10 years. Michigan was down a very highly ranked, at least top 10, maybe even top 6 or 7 team. It was Halloween weekend, October 30th, I believe it was, 2004. Michigan was down 17 points with 7 minutes left in the game. Braylon Edwards had 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and overtime. Mike Hart, true freshman, over 200 yards rushing. Michigan ties the game, ends up winning in overtime. Braylon Edwards, absolutely bonkers. And it's really funny. It was right with presidential election. The election was like 2 weeks later, and there was always signs, Carrie Edwards, and Michigan fans were changing them and putting tape over there, Braylon Edwards for president, right, after this game. Leading up to that 2004 presidential election. 1997, the moment was Charles Woodson, when he put his name firmly in the Heisman race, eventually won it with one of the great interceptions in football history, just kind of going up the sideline. They're trying to throw the ball away. One-hand interception, brought it down, got a toe in. Number 3, 2007, one of the weirdest seasons in college football and Michigan football history. You're down 10 points with 6, 7, 8 minutes left in the game. Chad Henne down the left sideline to Greg Matthews, and then Mario Manningham in the back corner of the end zone, 30 yards or out or so, to win the game with about a minute and a half left in Spartan Stadium. 2018, Shea Patterson hits Donovan Peoples-Jones down the right sideline. DPJ goes in the end zone, and something that's come kind of Michigan lore, just pulls up there and is the Paul Bunyan post. Did it again in 2019 as well, as he scored a touchdown in each of those years. And then 2019, I just mentioned it wasn't because of the pose, it was because Mark D'Antonio, we didn't know at the time, but it was his last game facing Michigan as Michigan State's head coach. Shea Patterson, 5 touchdowns in the day. Michigan blows out Michigan State 44-10 in the final game for Mark D'Antonio facing Michigan. He was a good coach, though, right? D'Antonio will be on the sideline. He is there, he's on the coaching staff now that Mel Tucker's fired, but he's not the head coach. He was 8-3 in his 11 seasons against Michigan. Probably, all things being considered, the best coach in Michigan State history, especially given his 8-3 record against Michigan. Let's keep things rolling. What is your top Michigan State moment? Let me know down in the comments. If you want to go 4 or 5 deep like I did, that's totally fine. But I'd love to learn more about you guys, what age you are, what games mean the most to you. So give me one down in the comments, your favorite Michigan State moment. By the way, if you're a Michigan State fan, if you put he had trouble with a snap, I'm going to come to your house and fucking kick your ass, okay? Eyes on Donovan Edwards for this one. Beep, Sam, make sure we beep that out. Kalel Mullings is out. We told you yesterday. Got a wrist injury. He's going to sit this one out. Bye week next week. Hopefully be ready for the November 4th game against Purdue. The Don has got to have his breakout game in this one. I don't think Michigan's going to call off the dogs. I think they're going to want to score points. They're going to want to get any kinks out of the offense. Edwards has been statistically and impactfully the biggest disappointment maybe in all of college football this year. 197 yards rushing, averaging like 3 yards a carry, 3.3. 18 catches, great. He's within striking distance, like 50 yards away from breaking Michigan's single-season record actually it's career record, for receiving yards by a running back. And he should hit 1,000 yards this season, I would think, for his career. But as of now, he has not made a meaningful impact. Got his first touchdown in garbage time this past week. It is time for the Don to have a breakout game. I'm calling this week. I'm feeling this is the week for the Don. I already had to give Preston a present. We're going shopping on Friday because the Don scored a touchdown against Indiana this past week. So 2 weeks in a row. It's Preston's birthday on Friday. All right, we've been hyping him up to you all season, Edwards. So let's get that touchdown. Let's get 100 yards rushing. Let's get a couple game-changing plays. Can Michigan and will Michigan make a statement? Do they want to make a statement? I think what this game's going to come down to is how much Jim Harbaugh wants to show on offense, how much aggressiveness he wants to have on defense, how long you want to keep your first stringers in there, and really kind of do you want to go for the kill against Michigan State? Michigan's kind of really come in after 3 straight blowout victories against Big Ten teams, scoring 45 and then 52 and then 51, whatever it was. 2 straight games, 50 points. First time it's happened in this program against Big Ten teams, in like 40 years, right? A lot of people talk about Michigan National Championship this week. A lot of people talk about J.J. McCarthy for the Heisman, and the revenge factor from the brawl in the Big House Tunnel last year has got to be on the minds of every fan and player for this one. But I want to give this message. I know Jim Harbaugh watched the show. Is Jim, your coaching career and your playing career, right? As a Michigan football fan, NFL, right? You went to the AFC Championship game, Hail Mary against Steelers? No, it falls apart. Michigan finishes number 2 in 1986 in the polls when you were quarterback. You go to three straight NFC Championship games. You make it to the Super Bowl. You got to face your brother, okay? You get to the college football playoff in back-to-back years. You lose in the semifinals. You have a Heisman runner-up, Aiden Hutchinson, a couple years ago. Well, he didn't get the job done, maybe 1 or 2 plays away. Jim Harbaugh, it is your time. But you got to focus. Ryan Day, for a fact last year he was trying to get C.J. Stroud the Heisman. They kept him in every single game right to the end, even though they're up by 40 points, still throwing the ball to the end zone, still trying to get the stats sheet just looking electric against all the other players in the country. Harbaugh's had his shot at getting a Heisman Trophy winner, but has never actually done it. Toby Gerhart, Andrew Luck, in his final 2 years at Stanford, went back-to-back as number 2, lost to Mark Ingram and then Cam Newton in 2010, and then Luck in 2011 finished second in the Heisman one more time, although Harbaugh was on to the NFL. The Real Peppers really didn't have a chance in 2016. But Aiden Hutchinson, I still believe that had Hutchinson got that interception that was overturned against Michigan State in that game 2 years ago, or Bryce Young didn't lead that final touchdown drive against Auburn in the SEC, the Iron Bowl SEC finale before the championship game. Either of those 2 things happen, I think Hutchinson wins the Heisman Trophy. So it can be just one play that makes a difference. So when all else fails, if you're at the 6-yard line, give JJ 3 shots to the end zone for passing. Give him those stats right now because it would mean a lot in the grand scheme of things for a Michigan football quarterback to win the Heisman Trophy. Can hurt with recruiting and certainly can help with NIL and getting deals for the next quarterback that comes after JJ. Dane Brugler from The Athletic, their draft guy, put out this tweet. I think it was, yesterday, Sam, right? Yeah, it was yesterday. Percentage of 3D, third down. He doesn't pay for X premium, so he's got to, worry about his character. Say, hey, Dane, you know, loan here. The Athletics had some tough times, but geez, dude, get some premium. It's $8 a month. Third down passes that have resulted in first downs. J.J. McCarthy, 73%. You've got to drop 20% to go to second place. North Carolina quarterback Drake May. I don't know if I've seen a landslide like this since Reagan in '84, winning 49 states. That is absurd that he is so much higher. Almost 75% of the passes he makes on third down results in a first down. So Jim Harbaugh, avoid close butt. I just don't want to hear 5 years from now a Michigan football fan saying, J.J. would have won the Heisman. He was so close. But they kept handing the ball off to Blake Corum inside the 10-yard line. And Blake got all the touchdowns. Didn't have enough touchdowns. Michigan almost won the national title, but we were so close. But we didn't really develop the passing game in the red zone all year. And when it came down to playing Georgia in the national title game, we just couldn't get it done. Use these next 5 regular season games, the Big Ten championship games, as a launch point for the Heisman Trophy, of course, but then thinking about who you're going to place in the college football playoff, the national championship game. We are going to Houston. Guys, I'm going to do a Michigan football mailbag only from Instagram questions. So it's at Michigan Football Report. Pretty damn simple. I'll put the link to it down in the comments and the description of today's video at Michigan Football Report. Got the story up right now. We'll be up to about Thursday at 10 or 11 a.m. I might do it again Thursday into Friday. Just reply to that story with any questions on the Michigan football program. I'll take the best 6, 8, maybe even 10 on Friday's show. I'll be back with another show on Thursday. Some big-time rumors on Jim Harbaugh's contract. Until then, go Blue.